All right, excited to have the young boys on the Breakaway podcast. We got Blake, Willey, David, Kimbrough, Chibi, Ukaegbu. Gentlemen, thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys all coming.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
First off, let's start with obviously for you guys, I would imagine it's such a change in mindset going from first team to academy. David and I were talking just quickly, but Blake, I'll start with you. Like, what's it like going back and forth right now? Even I know academy's not going on, but this past season, you get signed, you train with the first team, you go play academy games, you come back to the what's that process like? For you?
I think train with the first team is a whole different level. I mean, all the guys are so much stronger and faster than you, and they hold you accountable for every little thing you do, all the mistakes. Even the good things though, they really praise you for stuff. And going back down with the academy, I mean, it's still intense, but it's at two different levels. I mean, playing games with the academy feels like one thing, and then training with the first team is just a whole different level, a whole different speed of play, and all that.
And when you go, for instance, you go train with the national team in Mexico, what is that difference like in terms of the competitiveness level? When you leave the first team, you feel like, all right, you have to bring it every single day, and obviously it's the same thing with the national team. But what's that change like for you?
I think it's a little bit of from first team down to national team. It's still national team's a bit lower intensity, but training with the first team all the time, I think it gets you ready for situations like national team, playing with the academy during tournaments and playoffs, things like that. But I think it's about just staying consistent and finding a rhythm.
Chibi, how much have you grown this year?
It feels like I've grown a lot, in height. I feel like I've grown. I don't feel like I've grown that much, but everyone tells me I've grown inches. So I don't know.
I said the same thing. I didn't say anything to you, Blake. I'm sorry, man. We're in the same boat here. We're on the same boat. But what's that training process been like for you going back from academy into the first team?
No, it's been good. Obviously, there's differences between the first team and the academy, but I just feel like coming up from the first team and then coming back down to the academy, it's you almost push the level you're at the first team and you push the academy guys, so it's good. I feel like it's the first team holds you to standards like Blake was saying, and you kind of push those standards onto the academy guys, and it all just makes it all better. So yeah,
I want to talk through all your guys' debut stories, but I quickly wanted to start with Chibi, your near goal against San Jose, man. Take me through that.
Man, I still watch the clip up to this day. It's so crazy. Brad was telling me before I got subbed in, he's like, they left Jared open, the guy was subbing in, Jared Timmer. They're like, they leave him open on set pieces. You'll get open. I was like, okay, we'll see. And then I just come off the back post and I'm so open. And then I'm like, wow. And I get it down and I'm on the ground and I see it hit the post and I'm just my heart drops it's crazy. And then obviously we missed the chances after, but it was just surreal. Honestly.
But you're in the game for that comeback, for that crazy series of events in that match. What was that like for you getting integrated into that and having to basically fight scratch for everything?
No, it's a different atmosphere, obviously, with the fans and everyone. They were always behind us, and I just feel like even when we went down in overtime, I just feel like we knew we were going to come back and we were going to pull through, and I just feel like we kept a high level throughout the whole game, and it was just good to see us get the dub. Yeah.
And you came in the Seattle game?
Yeah, for a little bit.
What was that process like? I saw you didn't have shin guards on when you had to run over.
Well, Mark told me he said I saw a ghost. That's what he said, my facial expression was. But I don't think so. I was excited to go in, and in front of a lot of people. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a long time, but getting on in that kind of game is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a big game.
And your debut, obviously historic for many reasons. But did you know going into that game that might be the moment where you make history?
I mean, yeah, we talked about it before that I was pretty confident I was going to debut on that day, but just getting in the game, it was crazy. All the fans cheering and everything. We were up to winning last game of the season, I think, but it was crazy, yeah.
Well, I remember you get up, and I don't think so. We immediately in stadium cut to the camera of you getting up, taking the, and I think people starting to realize oh, what's about to happen, and then quickly people who people didn't know, who then are telling the person next to them, and you just felt like the energy build in the stadium, and then when you obviously step on the field, a huge ovation. But obviously, I'm sure that was major for you. But the process after, all the attention, the news attention, the story, what was that like? Try to gather all of that.
I mean, it's hard, but I try not to pay attention to that stuff a lot. I just try and stay calm and just keep focusing on me and grinding it out.
I like it. All right, that's a good answer. All right, let's go back to the contract stuff. You guys signed the contract same day. That was it this offseason?
Yeah, November.
Yeah.
November, that's right. I remember it was great seeing your dad, who obviously has been with the club for, I think, 9 years as an academy coach.
Yeah, he's been here a long time.
And meeting your family was very cool. What was, when you guys found out you guys were going to sign, I guess, obviously, David, this obviously impacts you too, but like, what was it like when you found out they were going to have you guys sign first-team contracts?
I mean, that was like the goal since I was little. I mean, I remember when I was like 10 years old, I used to come out to the first-team practices and, meet all the guys and like, kind of like, not go in the practices, but like, kick the ball with some of them. I know that since I was little, I knew that was my dream to play for my hometown club. So I was really excited when I got the opportunity.
Yeah. Chibby, what about you?
I mean, for me, coming into the academy, U15 years, so it was like about 2 or 3 years ago, it was just, I like started to see like how high the level was, and I really wanted to like strive to do like great things at this club. And when the contract was introduced to me, it was just like, it was a great feeling. Obviously, my goal was always to play pro at like a young age, and it felt good to get signed. So yeah.
Damian, what about you? Did that contract come a little sooner than you were expecting, or did you had a feeling that it was coming?
Yeah, I think it came a little sooner than I was expecting because I just got back from the tournament in Belgium with New York Red Bulls. I think I had a lot of teams coming after me, so I think that's what really pushed for Republic to try and sign me. But I mean, I was happy. It was an exciting moment for me, knowing that I was going to be making history and just all my hard work's paying off.
What about the next steps? I mean, you get this high after signing the contract, right? You're fired up. You're officially professional. And then now it's like, and I think Mark has said it in each of your guys' signings, like, all right, now it's time to get to work. Yeah. Like, what's that mindset change like of like, I know this is great, but there's still a lot more to be done?
Yeah, I mean, that was like, I remember when we went with the academy to Nashville, I remember I had like a little meeting with all the coaches. All the players did like an EDP or whatever at the moment it was called. But Martin was basically saying like, after academy, it's time to really focus in on like trying to get minutes with the first team and like don't even think about academy anymore. Just fully lock in, work hard with the first team, and try and get your opportunity.
When it comes to, we talked about the transition going from training with the first team going to play academy games. Are there things that you take from the first team practices, matches, and then you can go and you feel like, all right, I'm going to actually go really work on this aspect of my game in these academy matches?
Yeah, I feel like just the intensity and just all the effort that the first team, you see it every day in training, that I think there's always room to grow. But when you go down with the academy, I think you carry over the things that you learned from the first team, and I think it really pushes you above everyone else.
What about challenges, biggest challenges you guys maybe hadn't seen, expected? Chibby, I'll start with you. What is outgrowing clothes that you're getting too big for? Like, is that
no. Yeah, that's one of the challenges, but just, I don't know, it's a big adjusting to this level of play. But obviously when you have like the people around us, leaders on the team, and obviously Coach Mark and Martine just pushing us to be the best, it helps. Obviously, every day in training they push us to do the best we can do, and we just do that, and that's all they can ask for, really. And I feel like over these last couple of months where the academy hasn't been in session, you've kind of see us start to develop, and yeah.
It's interesting, too, because you guys all play different positions, right?
Yeah.
Defender, midfielder, forward. But so it's not like you guys can – I'm sure you guys do spend time together, at training. But I'm assuming you're mostly specifically in training, you're mostly with your position. So, David, what's it like being up with Sebastian, with those other forwards, Trevor, Kieran, and working on your game with those guys?
I think it's great learning experience. They're all really great players. And I think they all have their individual traits that I can learn from and help me develop myself. So I think it's good. Just putting in work with them after training, during training, just getting to keep on learning.
When you score on Vidiello or Mazzola in training, is it a little extra pride? I see a little smile on your face. It's got to feel good on those guys, right?
Yeah, it's great. Just knowing that you're able to score on, especially Danny's holding goalie of the year. So yeah. And Jared too. Jared's great as well. So I think it just adds your confidence a little bit.
Is it something where you score on him, you gotta give him a few minutes before you can go talk to him again, or do you give him a hard time right away?
I mean, I guess it depends. Like, depends on the situation, but
Yeah.
sometimes they're a little mad sometimes.
Yeah, it depends on how they both score. Like, if it's a mistake, I would kind of leave them.
Yeah.
They'd be
Yeah.
on for a little bit.
Mistake on defender. Or
Mistake on their end.
Oh, on their end, I see. If
Like,
it wasn't
they,
just
if they should have saved it.
Yeah. That makes sense. All right, and then obviously, while you guys are professional soccer players, you, I'm assuming, are still focused heavily on your studies. So I know the charter school stuff. We can talk about that. But Blake, I'll start with you. Like, what is that process like? How are you able to balance all of that going
Well,
into
the charter school, they do a really good job of helping us balance both. I mean, I have an individual teacher. She actually showed up to one of my games one time. I was posted on the story. She was holding up a sign of me and Chibi. And she did a great job of helping me through. Whenever I go on the road trips to the East Coast, you missed a lot of days of school, but.
Mhm.
I feel like the charter school, they do a great job of balancing your work and not overloading you with stuff, but keeping you on track and keep holding you accountable. Not letting you slack off, even though you're playing soccer a lot of the time.
Chibi, what's it like for you with the schooling?
No, my teacher just, especially my ISB teacher, Miss Bays, she makes it easy for me. Like, it's just a flexible schedule. And, times that, obviously we train in the morning with the first team, and then, they'll give us work to do throughout the evening that's not too much, but, also not too little. So I think this whole process has just been good to see, the flexibility of the school and, how it works with the first team, obviously.
Who's the one guy, Davian, who, if maybe you go on the road and you're rooming with somebody, who's the guy you aren't going to want to help you with some of your classwork?
Aren't?
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, we can start with R. If you have someone who you think would want to help you, and who would be good.
probably Connor.
Yeah,
He seems like a little,
That's what I was gonna say.
little book smart guy. Aren't? I don't really know.
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
Jared Mazzola for sure.
I was going to say Jared.
Mazzola. You can't ask Mazzola for homework answers.
He wouldn't take it serious.
Yeah.
He would not be helpful.
No.
He wouldn't take it serious. He would just mess around if you asked him a question.
He'll probably see us and give us a hard time.
He'd probably be like, "How are you still learning that? I learned that 10 years ago." Something like that. That would be his response.
You know how Mazzola is. He's just, he's it's crazy.
And then the family support stuff. That's what I wanted to talk about. So I've met all your guys' families. I see most of your families at most games.
Yeah.
Davian's got a whole section pretty much.
Yeah.
See the family a lot. See your brothers a lot for sure. But what's it like, kind of being able to play and have your family come to most, if not all, games?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, it's awesome to see after the game all your family's watching, and even if you don't play, they know it's still a big accomplishment that you're even at this point at such a young age. So it's always cool to see my family watching and supporting me in the stands.
I would imagine friends too, right?
Yeah.
I would assume, right, David? You guys have a lot of friends who are coming out to games.
I think it's good just being able to be out there, especially me for my brothers. I try to be someone that they could look up to. So just them seeing me out there, I know they get excited, hoping I get in and get to play, watch me play. So I think that's good. I just try to be a good role model for them.
That's awesome. Chibi, do people still think you're as young as you are with how tall you are?
Oh, I mean, I get a range of some people know right away how old I am, and some people are just like, "Oh, really? You're 17?" And then yeah. But yeah, it just depends, I guess.
But what's it like having your family being around and being able to watch you play?
No, obviously it's very special because they've been with me this whole process, from when I was playing rec in Roseville to where I am now. So I think just for them, it's just very special to see where I'm at now and what my hard work has gotten me to accomplish. So yeah, it's amazing to see them out there every day.
And obviously, you guys playing for your hometown team in Republic. What's that process like? Blake, I'll start with you. What does it mean to you to be able to put on the Republic crest?
Yeah, I think it definitely means more playing for the where you grew up in, because it's just that's where you live and stuff, and all your family's friends are in the crowd, so there's just more to play for, I feel like.
Did you guys all come to games before you were, I guess not even with the academy, but early on? David, did you come to a lot of games back in the day?
Yeah, I remember a lot of I would come to some games before I signed with the academy, and even with the academy, I would be ball boy sometimes. I remember in that painting right there, I was a ball boy for that game, so that was a crazy. I think I was behind the goal, so I seen a lot of action. So yeah, I always supported this team, so I feel like it's just a dream to be able to play for them now.
Yeah. JB, what about you?
I'm not sure. I did go to some of the games. I used to go to. I can't really remember which ones I go to, but because it was so long ago. But I know I went to this game right here, and I didn't get to go to the Miracle at Bonnie. But I did want to go to that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to go to some of the games before I got signed, and it was good to see like where the level was at, and it always looks so crazy. Just it feels so crazy knowing that like I was watching the games a couple years ago, and like now I'm like on the field, and it's like a whole different feeling. Yeah.
What about leadership around the team in the first team? I mean, I'm sure each of your guys' positions, I'm hoping you have somebody who you can talk to, ask questions. Who has been like some of the leadership people, Blake, that you've kind of been able to talk to and get some advice from?
I think like from a leadership role, I think Connor and Lee. I know they're not my position. Also, I think I'm trying to think who else has been like. I know Roro has been like I mean, obviously he's kind of like he's out now, but even with him being out, he's still always like trying to help people. And I feel like Connor and Lee are just a good example of like, because we used to make a lot of mistakes. I mean, we still make mistakes, but like they did a good job like keeping a cool head and like helping us through the situation, and they didn't lose their mind over it, which I thought was a big help for us.
Davian, what are some of the things that they are in these various guys, leaders who are giving you advice on?
I think Roro's helped me a lot, especially when I first started training. He was always like encouraging me if I made a mistake, just helping me learn. And I think that's really important to have when you're first coming in, especially to have someone that sort of like a leader to you and a role model. So I think he does a good job of that.
Chip, you got a lot of leaders on that back line.
Yeah. But I think what's special about our team is like there's so many leaders across the whole team. There's Russell Cicerone. He's like amazing to see. Like when you're on the team with him, and you just see how much he pushes everyone to just try to win games and do their best. And obviously Roro, he's been a big leader for me coming into the first team. And yeah, like you said, the back line, Lee, Connor, Jared, Shane. It's good to have them because not only are they like leaders to the whole team, even to the first team guys are leaders to me in my position. They kind of show me the ropes of like what I can improve on and what I'm doing well and how I can improve on what I'm already doing well. So yeah, it's good. It's good.
Who are some of the guys you don't want to go up against in training?
Like a one-on-one?
One-on-one can be anything.
Oh, I'd say Jack Kerr when he gets in his mode. He gets pretty intense. He's really competitive, strong, and fast. And I wouldn't want to defend or attack against him when we get into a one-on-one.
Yeah, Jack, is that a good answer?
Yeah.
Like when because I know like there were times where I used to play left back too, like earlier in the season, and I would never want to play against him, like left back against right back. That was a intense matchup.
Davey, what about you?
I mean, I would go against him sometimes, but I feel like Russell, especially when he was healthy at the start of the season, like he really gives 100% every time. So you just know whatever play it is, no matter what, he's going to give 100%. So I think he's always a tough player to play against.
And he's a former hockey player, so he just does not get affected by any sort of physicality either.
Yeah. For me, obviously, I think I'm gonna say Sebas. Sebas is very, very strong. Sebas is very, very strong, and another player is probably Nick Ross. He's just he's very clean on the ball.
Yeah.
Simple, doesn't do anything too fancy, but he's just so efficient. So yeah, I think those are the two players that I don't like playing against.
All right, last thing. We asked Portillo about this a while back, and it was a great answer. So I'm curious, why are you guys wearing the number you're wearing?
Number 20. Well, I chose that. Well, I didn't choose. I kind of did choose the number, but Matt LaGrassa, he sweat number last season. And he was a big role model for me, and obviously my dad used to coach him when he was younger. So I thought it was good to take on his number and try and show. I don't know.
That's a good answer.
I don't know how to explain it, but I thought it'd be good to take his number.
Yeah, that's great.
I think I don't remember really, but I think it was because I used to watch a lot of soccer games with my grandpa on the TV, and he would always watch like the Mexican Liga MX in Mexico, and I think I really liked Chicharito back then, so I think that's one of the reasons I started wearing 14, and I stuck with it.
It's a good answer.
Well, I kind of laughed at this question because our old equipment manager, Cappy, he said you only have the options from 40 and up. And I was like, okay, I'll just pick 55. And originally, Blake was supposed to go 44.
I was 44 last
Yeah, he
season.
was 44. And that's the one I was going to pick, but then he had it, so I was like, I'll go 55. Why not? It looks
So Portillo said He said he got 43 because of the same reason when he was at Real Monarchs.
Yeah.
And then he got called up, and he had just bought his family jerseys. And he's like, I don't want to buy new jerseys for everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a good answer. That's a good reason.
That is a good
man.
answer. Yeah.
Well, guys, it's been a pleasure having you guys in here. We've been about 20 minutes, which is perfect. Good to get to know you guys a little bit. I know we've seen each other around. Good to see. I've been a part of all your guys' signings, debuts. All your debuts have been. Oh, one thing I wanted to ask: the Monterey Bay goal. We got to talk about it.
The Monterey. Oh, that game. Yeah.
How come you acted like you didn't remember the goal?
No. Wait, the Monterey Bay goal.
Preseason.
Oh, preseason. I was thinking about the Open Cup.
I was thinking
one.
about the Open Cup, too.
The preseason one. Yeah, that was insane on my birthday too. It was a surreal moment. Yeah, it was surreal. Scott subbed in. Mark was like, okay, just impact the game. That's all he's really asking. And I got in, and the ball just fell to me at the 6. I was like, wow, and tap it, I guess. So yeah.
It quickly got fans to know how to pronounce your last name because we jumped on that quick.
Yeah, you guys did. I was surprised, to be honest. I was surprised.
It's a little more. It's an easier name than people think.
It is easier. It just looks a little complicated.
Yeah, it looks complicated. Yeah, for sure. Well, guys, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming into the new office. Sorry about the parking struggles.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's good. It's good for you.
Yeah. You gotta learn the ropes of downtown a little bit. It's good.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you coming in. This was a lot of fun, and excited to see you guys continue to grow and make an impact on the club and in your careers. So thanks.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.